Hi, and welcome to this Fornav coffee break. My name is René Brummel. I'm a product specialist at Fornav and I will be your presenter today. As this coffee break is live, you can ask your questions via the GoToWebinar question window. We will answer them at the end of the coffee break. Today we are going to add style sheets to our Business Central reports. Style sheets are a very underused feature in Fornav reports, but they are particularly useful. To demonstrate how to add style sheets, we will use the sales template from the Fornav report pack. However, you can add style sheets to any Fornav report from any extension using the instructions from this coffee break. To demonstrate how to add style sheets to your Business Central reports, I'm going to use these steps. The prerequisites, what do I need to get going? In step 2, I will add style sheets to enable alternate styles and table rows. In step 3, I will use my style sheets in other tables of my report. In the fourth and final step, I will edit my style sheets. Let's start with the first step. Today, I will be creating style sheets in the Business Central on-premise Docker installation with the Business Central 2020 Wave 1 release. I have installed the Fornav extension and I have executed the step-by-step wizard from the assisted setup to get started. Of course, everything I do today is also available on the Business Central cloud environment. I also have the Fornav Designer installed on my PC. The Fornav Designer can be downloaded from the Fornav website. Sometimes when we work with tables, it's nice to add even and odd colored lines in the table. This will improve readability, especially in larger tables. Fornav lets us add these even and odd styles. Let's have a look at how to do this. So as before, I'm going to start with Business Central. And I'm just going to go to the Fornav setup. So from the Fornav setup, I can go and design my template. And I'm going to work with the sales template today and open it in the Fornav Designer. In the Fornav template reports, or all of the Fornav report pack reports, we use tables quite a lot. And that's because tables are very easy to space out data, especially when we work with lines. So we have the table in our line, which is in this body. We have a table, and to this table I would like to add alternating colors, background colors. So my table has the what some people call the pajama printing. So in order to do so, I'm going to select the entire table. In the Fornav Report Explorer, you can select anything in the report. When working with tables, I find it easier to select the table from the Report Explorer, so I know for sure that I'm not changing the lines, the rows, or the cells, but the table itself. And in this table, I have a property called styles, and if I expand this, you will notice I have three options: an even style, an odd style, and a style. So let's go and play with the even style and create a new style. I'm going to call it even style, just to stay original. And for the background color, I'm going to use just the light gray from the default colors. In the background colors, you can choose custom colors, web colors, or system colors. So I've done that. Let's go and preview my report and see what we have. So when previewing, you'll notice that my even rows now have the light gray background. So that's great. Let's do this for the odd colored rows as well, just because we can. Select my, and for the odd style, I'm going to create a new style, which I will call odd style. And now for the background color, my customer has sent me a color code because they want these reports to match their styling. So they don't want one of the built-in colors. They want to use their color codes that their web developers use as well. So I will use it, and Fornav will automatically resolve it to an RGB code, which in this case is dark gray. Let's preview once more. There we now have the dark gray background, so I'm happy with that. And of course, as I mentioned before, it's also possible to set the styling for the entire table, which is not something I need for the body, but it is something I can use for the lines for the header table. So I'm going to select this, and once again expand styles. And now I'm not going to use an even style or an odd style, but I will just use a style. I will create a new style, and I will call this my header style. And for this, I will set the background color to a very particularly pretty color, which is ForNav orange. And let's set the foreground color for this one, because black on orange is not very pretty. Let's use white. So we have set this particular table to the style with the orange background color and the white foreground color. Now there's something you see here, which is not Murphy. It's something that's intended. These two columns haven't been changed. The background color, the text color of these two columns hasn't been changed, and that's because they've been set manually before. So in order to reset them, what I need to do is find the foreground color of the cell itself and just reset it, and that means ForNav will use the foreground color from the style. So let's preview this. And now my table header is orange with white text. Once we've created these style sheets, we can use them across the report. So if I go back to the ForNav report, you will notice in my report that I have a couple more tables. I have, for instance, my VAT, which I have made visible on the report, just to have something to play with. The VAT table also has a header and also has a body. So let's go and have a play with that. Let's start with the body and select the table. And I want to set the same styles here. So right now, if I want to set the even style, instead of having to create a new style, which I can do if I wanted to, I can also simply select the even style. And I can select the odd style as well, in which case my styles get loaded to this table. If I wanted to, I can also set styles on single cells or single rows. At this point in time, I just want to set the style for the entire table. And I want to do the same for the VAT header. So select the VAT header table and expand my styles and set the style for the entire table to the header style. And as you will notice that my header, since it has the table style, it gets orange with the white text. So let's preview. Now both the tables in my report have the same styling. They have the orange header with the dark and light gray alternate coloring of the lines. So that's great. But what if, as we have demonstrated in some of our other coffee breaks, I add a new body section to my line? So let's add something and add some fields to it. And what I add on it is not that important, just needs to be a table so I can set the styles. So let's just add the description and the description too. And if I preview my report right now, my new lines don't have the correct background color because I haven't set that up in my tables. So let's go into my table. And set the styles here as well. Even style and the odd style. And preview again. You will notice my new rows have my new bodies have the same background color as my existing body. Once we have set up the styling of our tables properly, we can easily change the styling of all our tables at once. And this is of course where this starts to get really useful. What if my customer says, listen, René, I really want a white background color for the dark gray lines, and I want a slightly different font for my headers. If I go to the properties of the report itself and go all the way to the top, you will notice that I have a property there called Style Sheet, which is a collection. If I drill down into this, I get my styles editor where I can change my styles. So what I can do is, if I want my odd style to have a white font, I can simply set the foreground color to white. And this will change all of the tables that have this particular styling. If I want to change my header style and say I want to change my font, I can do this as well. I can just drill down into here and say I want a finer in the size 8. There we go. One thing that doesn't happen right now is my font doesn't change on all of my headers. And this is because the fonts on these headers, as you can see if I select one of the columns, is set manually to Segoe UI. So if I want to change this, I need to reset them to use the font I have set in my style sheet. And as I do this, you might notice that my fonts change to the finer font. And let's quickly do this for the VAT table as well. So that means that the settings you set to the cells themselves, to the text boxes inside the cells, they are the first selection that Fornav makes, and if there's nothing changed in there, and then Fornav will use the style sheet to style the tables. So let's have one more look. Let's see if my report is fine now. There we go. My headers have the Viner font. I'm happy with that, and the dark gray lines have the white background, and that's done obviously in the lines, but in the VAT it's been changed as well. So that makes it really easy to change your styles inside your reports. So let's recap what we just did. We've added style sheets to add even and odd row styling to a table in our Fornav report. Then we applied the same styling to other tables in our report. Once we set up the style sheets, we were able to change the styling of all our tables at once. Thank you for listening to me so far. Mark, do we have any questions?
Let me have a look at the question window. Yes, we do have a question from Manfred. Can I use the defined styles also in another report? So
no, you can't at this moment in time. You can just use a style in your report, but of course there's one thing that I haven't said, is that if I save this report, because I have changed the template, all of my other reports are changed as well. So if I were to, for instance, well, let's now have a look at a sales order and print it. You'll notice the sales order has changed as well because it's based on the sales template. But I can't use a style that I've created in one report and use it in a different report. So I need to add them to all the reports by hand.
yeah, but it's great feedback. So let's take this to Michael and Jacob and see if they can come up with a smart idea to do that. Cool. Okay. So that's the only question we have so far. So let's go to the next slide while we give the audience a moment to come up with more questions. So if you want to know more about the product or this feature or any other features that we have in Fornav, you can go to our website, fornav.com. There you can find the download of the designer that René used today to design the reports. If you want to get started with the report pack in Business Central, you can go to AppSource. Just log in with the same account as you have on your Business Central tenant. And you can install the Fornav report pack directly from there. There is no difference in the report pack from a test version and a go live version, except for the fact that we print a watermark. And to remove that watermark, you can simply send an email directly from our app to us, and we will catch your tenant ID and remove the watermark for you without you having to reinstall the product. If you want to see more of these coffee breaks or webinars, you can go to youtube.com/4navreports, and there you can find a list with, I think it's like a few dozen now, of these little tips and tricks where René explains these great features. If you have any questions after that, if there's anything unclear or you need more help, don't hesitate to send an email to support@4nav.com. Your email will end up in our support system, and we have a rule that it should be answered within 24 hours after you send it to us. Of course, all support is free of charge. So we don't have any questions yet. So on YouTube, you can find a list of coffee breaks that we had in the past, but we do them every single week, and we keep a list of like at least 3-4 coffee breaks in the future of topics that we will cover in the following weeks. You can find them on 4nav.com/coffeebreak. If there's anything you want to see covered, don't hesitate to send an email to info@4nav.com. If we like the topic, if we agree that your topic is a coffee break topic, we will host the coffee break and you will win 2 prizes. Of course, you will get an answer to your question. You will get your specific coffee break on your topic, but we will also send you a gift card of €50 or $, depending on where you're located, as a thank you for inspiring us to share more information about our products. So with that, René, thank you for doing this today again. And to the audience, thank you for attending, and see you next time. Bye.